So for those of you who watched my last video, you'll know that I recently participated back in April in my first PDGA sanctioned event. It was a C tier called the Stones Throw Spring Open, and I participated in the MA3 division, which we played off the Reds, which was mostly sub 250 feet. Now, I didn't manage to record every hole, and I didn't manage to record every throw on the holes I did record on, but I thought I would go through some of my footage and just recap my event. Now, the MA3 division playing the Reds was probably not only the right division for me, but also probably a really good place to go for my first tournament, because being mostly sub 250 meant that these holes were really in my grasp and I could attack them and not feel behind everybody else because I don't have the distance of other players. Now, my goals were to be top 10 and to play a bogey-free round. And right here on hole 3, I sawed off my drive and went into the woods, and then tried to be a little tricky and do an anhyzer with an overstable disc and come out of the woods, and didn't manage to do it. Didn't get into a spot I could attack I had no real line at the basket. End up getting a bogey, and hole 3 already, one of my 2 goals is gone. Now, I wasn't too worried yet, because here hole 4 is a pretty short, straight shot, and I've birdied it many times, and I was really confident going into this, but just the wind was really strong this day, and the rain. There was, as you can see here on the left, there's a lot of water standing out on the hole. Hole 5, then also thinking I've got a good chance at it, but hit an early tree. Don't manage to get my approach shot where I really want it to be, and I got another bogey. So my confidence isn't high here going into hole 6. And hole 6 is one of the harder holes on the course. It's not super long, but there's a big, probably 105-degree dog leg, and the trees mean you can't really just go skip the dog leg. You gotta follow the course. And then with this elevated basket at the end of it, it's a par 4 that's a fair par 4, and the 3 is gettable, but it is not a super easy 3. And I told myself that if I wasn't within 10 feet of the basket, I wasn't gonna go for the basket. But one guy on my card, he got it from 27 feet. I was about 4 feet closer. I thought, I can get this if he can get this. Worst happens is I hit the basket and I land beside. Airballed my par save and ended up getting a bogey. Now I'm +3. I'm feeling real bad. Hole 7 is really tight, really hard to get. End up getting another bogey. So here I am +4. And looking at the leaderboard, I took a quick look at the leaderboard, and I am down at the bottom. Hole 8, not too hard, and you just have to make it through this first 2 gaps of trees. You can't make it all the way to the basket, in my opinion, but just try and make it. It's fine, whatever. Get the par. Hole 9, hit another tree right here early. Couldn't get out. Got another bogey. I'm feeling bad. Now, the thing with this tournament was they had organized that the FA 60-50 group was right in front of the MA3s, and they were going a lot slower than we were. So what that meant was that when we got up to hole 10, we are behind a group, watching a group that is watching another group. There's 2 groups in front of us. So there's time here before we play our round. And it was at this time that I got a text from a friend who was like, hey, hope that you're having a good time. Hope that the tournament is going well. And I start texting him tournament's going terrible. But because we have time, I stop and I thought about it. And I was like, you know what? I am having fun. The 2 guys I'm with on my card, they're good guys. We're having an enjoyable round. I would really be enjoying my round if I didn't care about the score. I have to just stop caring about the score. And so that became my mentality. And so over the course of the rest of the second round, the front half I was +5, and the back half I managed to be 0. I'm still outside the top 10. I'm at 12 when we go into round 2. Hole 1, I decide to do what I wasn't going to do, but the wind pushing the way it was, I decided to try a spike hyzer, get right beside the basket, start off with a birdie. Feeling good. Hole 2, I par it. Okay, no problem. I'm still -1. Hole 3, as you can see here, I'm well off into the woods again, but I'm at -1 already. So I'm okay. I'm feeling a little cheeky. Try something. Doesn't work out. Hole 3 ends up being another bogey for myself. Hole 4, once again, thinking I can get this birdie. Don't manage to get it. We are in the weeds. And I have to be a little bit creative with my stance here because I'm in this tree, but I just put up a little glitch shot, land beside the basket. We're still at sitting even here, and, no complaints. So I'm just really, once again, focusing on not the shots that I think I can hit as I hit the same tree again on hole 5, but more on what do I like, what am I here for? I'm not a professional player. I'm not really that I need cash from this event. Like, there's no cash to get. I'm here to have fun. And that becomes my mentality. Hole 6 this time, I managed to get the par. Hole 7 there, I skip a little wide, but I managed to pull out my par. I am still sitting pretty okay. As we finish out the front half of round 2, I am sitting at even. And even though I missed this long shot for a birdie, it's okay because I have a par. And walking up to hole 10, I'm feeling pretty confident now. If you make it through the first half even, you have a pretty good chance at getting a decent score because the front half is the harder half. Here I go, another par on 10, feeling great. 11, this was actually a birdie putt. I'm not at negative numbers. I'm looking at the charts. Everyone is having a worse round. Now, hole 12, I managed to birdie on the first round. And so I'm pretty confident with this second one, but I ended up going long, deep, didn't get it. Hole 13, I don't manage to get my par. I'm not +1, but I'm looking at the leaderboard and a lot of people are doing worse. And so I'm still feeling pretty good. I know that there's potential. Hole 14, I managed to get a birdie, which was really surprising because it was a tough hole. There's OB, there's water carry, there's a lot of brush. It's on a mound, but I managed to park that disc, and then we get hole 15. I get a birdie, so I'm at -1. Here, hole 16, I squeeze through a spot, save my par. I just missed the OB line that was on the right. I'm watching this list and I'm looking and people are sliding below me. And hole 17 was one that was annoying to me because I really thought I was going to get a birdie on this. I thought I could birdie it twice. I managed to par it both rounds. There's just so much obstacles. The first putt you saw didn't look obstructed, but it was. So we're walking up to hole 18, and I know that I have to birdie this hole. It is a must-get birdie in order to make my goal, which has shifted because of the number of players from top 10 to top 8. This last birdie was through between just a hole in some trees, and I managed to secure myself a top 6th finish. The moral of the story is, if you're having a bad day at a tournament, its mentality comes out on top. When you're walking up to a hole confident, you're just going to play a better round.